Welcome back, everybody. Carmen here with Fresh Cut Flower Farm. I am growing in a Zone 6B here in Missouri, and today I'm going to give you an update on my cold hardy annual experiment. If you'll recall from a few months ago, I did a video where I decided to just leave my rows uncovered because I realized very quickly that putting the row covers up and down was really not going to be sustainable for me, just because of working, and then once they're frozen, you can't move it, and most of our winter stays that way, and then you get a heavy snow load and the hoops can't take the snow load, and then your row cover smashes onto your flowers, and because I nearly lost them, and that was whenever I realized I've got to change the way I'm farming over the winter. And so go back and check out that video. So I'm going to take you outside. We're going to go on a little tour of the flowers, and I'm going to do a voiceover during the tour because it's really windy outside, and I'm afraid the audio would be super bad, and I don't want that. I like good audio when I watch a video, so I want you all to have good audio as well. But for the most part, I had some winners, but more losers. And, as they say, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. And I learned a lot, and I'll share with you the things that I could have done different that I believe was, operator error on my part. But going into fall 2022, I know exactly what I can plant. Once it goes in the ground, it's done. I don't have to mess with it over the winter. I've got a few that I'm going to try again, and I'll share with you why I believe the fault was mine, what I could have done different. So I'll make those corrections this year, and hopefully I'll have better results come spring 2023. Let's go outside and let's have a look. So the first one that we have is Scabiosa Summer Fruits, and as you can see, it did not survive. So definitely not hardy down to my zone, and a little bit of green there, but yeah, I just, that one just pulled right out, so. And then we have the QIS mix, the status, and it didn't do well either. So it's another one that I will be just waiting to spring plant for next year. And then we have Feverfew, and this is the Balls Ultra, and it did very well. You can see there just minor damage, so it's one that I will be able to overwinter. We have Verbascum Southern Charm, and it's another one that did really well. You can see there a little bit of damage from the weather, but for the most part, it looks really good. Then we have our dara, and I would say on the dara, I probably about 50-50. 50 survived, and I lost 50. But you can see that new green growth coming up on those. Then we have dianthus. This is the sweet series. And the dianthus, you can see, has a lot of wind damage and cold damage, but it's trucking right along, coming right back up. That is one. I don't think I lost any of my plants with that one. I think every one of them will come back, will recover. Then we have the Scabiosa Salmon Queen. Again, another failure. Then we have the Scabiosa Snow Maiden. Now the Snow Maiden, as you'll see, most of them died, but there was some that, there's some green on there that they might come back, a few of them. I'll wait a little while to dig those up. we'll see how they do. Then we've got Snap Potomac Dark Orange. And most of this bed I have already cut back. There's a few that I left, but for the most part I cut all of them down to the ground because 99% of them look dead. And then we've got Potomac Mix. And yeah, so yeah, that one I believe was a complete failure. And this one is the Potomac Cherry Rose. Again, another defeat in my battle. And then the Snap Rocket. Now the Snap Rocket, we've got some survivors there. I think it's definitely another one that I am going to winter over again. We've got the Snap Monaco Mix. No survivors here. Then the Maryland Mix. And again, no luck with this one either. I think they're all dead. Then we've got the Snap Potomac. And again with that one, got some dead ones. Yeah, all of the Potomacs are gone. Now this is the Madam Butterfly Ivory. I apologize, I forgot to show you the label, but there's some on there that are coming through. So this will be one that I will try again. Then we have the Opus. Snap, yeah. And no survivors there. Then we've got the Snap Costa Mix. See a little baby one there trying to come through. But other than that, they're all gone. Now here was the surprise for me, my Bells of Ireland. I really thought they would winter over. And there may be a few that are viable, but I think what I'm going to do is just go back into that row and plant some more seeds and give them time to come up, because I've got several seeds left, so we'll try them again. And then here we have the Belle of the Ball. This is the Bupleurum. I mean, they have just rocked it. Look at that. These were all direct sown last fall. I believe I did all of that in October, but I was so impressed by how these did. And then we have Monarda, and it done really well as well, which I was sure that it would, because bee balm grows in the wild here, and so I'm not surprised at all by this, but it looks good. Definitely got to do some thinning. I seeded heavy. And then we have Larkspur. It has done really well too. Look at that. Looks good. Minor damage on the Larkspur, so it's one to plant in the fall for sure. Again, I am in zone 6B. And then next to that, I'm sorry I forgot to show you the tag, but that is Feverfew. And I actually direct seeded that Feverfew just to see if it would germinate and grow. And it's spotty, but it looks good. I mean, it's definitely one that will overwinter for sure. I get distracted when I see weeds. And then here we have the Yarrow Colorado Mix, and it's done good too. So it's one that I will definitely fall plant again. this is the rogue ranunculus that I had, and of course it didn't survive being uncovered. It's gone. Now for the sweet peas, we have Winter Elegance. And the sweet peas were a mixed bunch. I had some that I think are going to come through. And there's some more there with some new growth. Right there's another one. And then here we have Sweet Pea Royal Family. Most of them died, but there's a few. Right there you got one. It's got a little bit of new growth on it. Another one. So there was a few, maybe a handful of ones that survived. But for the most part, they died. And here's the poppy bed. Got a few rogue poppies, and this is just a mixed bunch. I also planted some of the big poppy pods. That's what I'm most hoping for. That's what I really want. But I think what I'll do is I'm not going to pull them up. I'll just plant around them. And then we have the Verbascum. This is White Bride. And again, it, just like the other, the Southern Charm, it did really well. So it's definitely a keeper for fall planting. So you may be wondering, what were my takeaways from my experiment? Well, I learned which hardy annuals that I can overwinter without any added protection. So that's definitely good. I also learned that, like my bells and my snapdragons and some of the other ones, I waited too late to get them out. I should have gotten them out earlier. I really only put them out a week or two before my first frost. And they really need to go out 6 to 8 weeks before your first frost. So I think next year I'll get them in the garden earlier. I'm going to go upstairs and get it put on my calendar so I don't forget. That way they'll get plenty of root growth and have a better chance of surviving. Get a little bit bigger. I think some of them were just way too small. I also learned, if there's something that I really want to overwinter that's going to need that row cover, I'm going to have to invest in a much sturdier structure to hold that row cover. That way if there is a snow, it's not going to collapse under the snow. And then some things I'll just have to late winter, early spring plant. So yeah, it's fine. It's good. I'm glad I did the experiment, because now I know and what I can grow with confidence that will survive my winter. So that is it for this video. I'm headed outside now. I'm going to get my ranunculus and anemones in the ground, and I'll do a video on that one as well. And until next time, y'all have a good day. Bye.